center, folks. Ace Maker Airshow. Gigantic loop right here at show center. You can check that maneuver, Roy, at 350 knots. Well, actually, I think he's going to just choose to use this as a half-Cuban 8. And I think he's going to go now through the second part of this maneuver. About 5/8 of that loop I was talking about, and then roll up right up on a 45-degree line, and we've got really great wind conditions here. You can see that great big figure 8 lying on its side. We call it the Cuban 8.
Snowbird scratch when he wasn't with the Snowbirds, was able to blend his passion for aviation and the artist in himself. In 2006, Scratch returned to the Snowbirds team as lead for 2 years, as he mentioned. Following this, Scratch was promoted to Lieutenant Colonel, had the honor of being selected as an exchange officer for postgraduate training in Australia. Also received a master's degree in strategy and management, and that is surfer. And I know he likes to build his own surfboard and love being out on the West Coast.
Here comes a high-speed pass at up to 450 knots. The jet is a 1959 Royal Canadian Air Force D-33, one of the last ones built, as a matter of fact. A larger Rolls-Royce engine with extra thrust is in this particular aircraft and gave it more power than the regular United States Air Force version. Scratch's dad, as a matter of fact, flew the D-33 in the Royal Canadian Air Force, quite likely even flew this very jet. All right, if he's following his script and not trying to mess with me, this should be the slow roll.
On June 23rd of 1943, General Hap Arnold approved a letter of contract with Lockheed to build the XP-80. The first XP-80 was nicknamed Lulabelle. It was built in the security of a temporary structure thrown together 10 days from old engine-packing crates, if you can believe it. An entire machine shop was purchased so that the tools needed to build Lulabelle would not be taken away from the Lockheed assembly line. That was, of course, in wartime production at the time. 123 men, 23 engineers, and 105 shopmen worked 10 hours a day, 6 days a week to build the first XP-80. The head designer was none other than the famed Clarence L. Kelly Johnson. And on January 8th of 1944, just 203 days after the contract was signed, the XP-80 lifted off the dry lake bed with Milo Burcham at the controls. Yes, Lulabelle flew. Top speed was 502 miles per hour.
Remember, he's performing for us, or he's performing saw the Cuban 8 that was figure 8 line 5. That was the oblique 8. Basically a figure 8 line flat right here at center stage.
Some history for you. On November 8th of 1950, the first jet versus jet aerial combat took place between the P-80 Shooting Star and the MiG-15 in the area known in Northwest Korea, later known as Big Alley.
And Scratch is going to demonstrate for us the rolling capability of the T-33 with a series of rolls right there at show center.
Air Force F-51Ds on patrol near the Gallup River area. On the afternoon of the 8th of November, Lieutenant Russell Brown, piloting his shooting star of the 16th Fighter Squadron, outmaneuvered two attacking MiG-15s, tacked onto the tail of one of them, poured 50 cal fire into him until the MiG exploded. It was the first of 827 MiGs to be shot down in Korea and the first jet versus jet victory ever.
All right, folks, coming in from the left, he's going to perform for us next a hesitation roll. How many points will he stop? Well, let's see. Rolling the aircraft to inverted, stops there, and rolls it up right. We call that the 2-point hesitation roll. Now you saw the Cuban 8, you saw the oblique 8, and now he's going to perform for us the level 8. Started this maneuver in 250 knots, folks, and I would imagine that he's experiencing anywhere between 5 and 6 positive G's as he goes through this figure 8. Yeah, that'll take the conversation out of your energy.
No kidding. He's got quite the resume as a film pilot, aerial coordinator, TV. He's worked as a character, a director, and consulting also embraces the opportunity to connect with people as a public speaker, media personality, and actor. As a husband and father, he has
On the other side of the fence up there, there's lots of chairs. I don't know if you pay, but
Folks, you saw the 2-point roll. Here comes the 4-point hesitation roll, this time in from our right. Pulling up just slightly, rolling into knife edge for 1 and 2 to inverted and 3 back to knife edge. And early World War II. Here's a good look at the Dauntless with the Skyraider as the Skyraider peels away. Now I think we're going to focus now on the A1 Skyraider for a few minutes because that Dauntless is going to climb to altitude a few thousand feet above the ground and give us a demonstration of its true capability.
Ken, we saw the Thunderbolt P-47 earlier, and of course it was used quite extensively as a ground attack aircraft in World War II, able to carry 2 500-pound bombs on each wing, and of course those big 850 caliber machine guns. And then we've got this machine that's coming in on the left to do some mock ground attack, and of course they use that for exactly what we're going to see here later. The A-10 Thunderbolt 2. We got a couple of them here.
Now, Roy, you called this aircraft the dump truck of the sky. I love that description because it really is a high utility aircraft. But Alan Andrews is going to demonstrate for us right now how maneuverable this aircraft actually is. Check this out, folks. Give you a great look at all those hard points on the bottom of the wings. I think he's got a target. See that white van out there?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Those are our folks.
Where you were going with that.
That's the folks from North Star Drones. And they've got all their drones set out there. Makes for a perfect target for Alan Andrews and the 81 Skyraider coming in again from the left.
And if you look closely, you'll see there is all sorts of ordnance under there. He's got some rockets and laser bars. He's got some bazookas on there and a whole bunch of things that creates a lot of drag to that aircraft, but it gives authenticity to the Skyraider. The Heritage Flight Museum, the Skagit Airport, and the way the sun appears. You see that? It just glowed off the bottom of that airplane beautifully.
Roy, I saw you looking around.
Yeah.
You're looking for that Dauntless, aren't you?
I am so.
Way up there, towards the southeast, high in the sky, probably about 4,000 or 5,000 feet above the ground right now.
Well, looks like Alan's going to bring the Skyraider in for another mock attack as evening starts to come in. Look at the ultimate glow. Mount Baker.
A tremendous amount of airspeed thanks to those speed brakes.
And
wow.
Those dive brakes, which is actually an unusual configuration for that time, we're on the trailing edge of the wing.
SBD pilots from U.S. carriers were credited with 40 of the 91 enemy aircraft lost during the Battle of the Coral Sea. A month later at Midway, SBD sank 3 Japanese carriers and put another out of action. Their own attrition rate was the lowest of any carrier aircraft in the Pacific, due largely to an outstanding ability to absorb battle damage. You can see 2 in the Dauntless. Has a maximum takeoff weight of over 10,000 pounds, and it's powered by that great white R1820 Cyclone 9-cylinder air-cooled radial piston engine that generates 12,000 horsepower. We need to get Vlad and Ken up here again and do a quiz and see if they remember those numbers. Spins a 3-bladed Hamilton, a standard constant speed propeller that gives the Dauntless a maximum speed of 255 miles per hour, or about 400 and change in kilometers per hour. Service ceiling for the Dauntless over 25,000 feet. Rate of climb at 1,700 feet per minute. This particular Dauntless is an A-24 Army Banshee delivered in January of 1943 and was used as a gunnery target tug at Lackland Airfield in Florida. Was later declared surplus, employed as a mosquito control sprayer by the city of Portland from 1958 until 1965, and it was then sold to the Erickson Museum in 1994 and restored as an SBD-3 as it appears today. share your faith. Touchy there.
Possessive of my donuts.
It's almost like you're hangry, but you got dinner, my friend. Yes, you are correct.
Oh,
Roy, it is Blair.
Oh, wait a minute. What happened to your bells? Oh, they're over there. Yeah. One Skyraider.
They could probably do one
Roy,
shift
why
each
don't you talk to the folks
but
about
they need to know
A1
as soon as
Skyraider,
possible.
and I'll talk about the Dauntless. How's
Good.
that?
I'm glad you did that.